Bring back the microphone to here. And now we can load. Last we left off, kids and the murder packs they get involved in. Go figure. A chilling silence filled the room. I found myself fidgeting and feeling uncomfortable, even though I was in my own room. Reina sat by the window and gazed out at the village as night fell. We all agreed to meet at my house to put our plan together, but even though it was well beyond our arranged meeting time, Shion still hadn't arrived. There's no way that Shion would betray us at the last minute. Doubt plagued my mind. I scratched my hair in an attempt to shake it off. Dull pain coursed to the back of my head, and the strange feeling slowly dissipated.
紅茶冷めちゃうから早く飲めよ。母さん、親父と出かけてるからな。見よう見まねで俺が入れてみたんだけど、多分味は問題ないと思うぞ。親戚が送ってくれたやつなんだけど、東京じゃ結構人気あるんだってさ。
I don't think she's in the mood for tea. Reina didn't respond to anything. She just pointed her eyes out the window and stayed silent. I sat quietly, drinking tea alone like an idiot. Even though I drank and drank, it never quenched my thirst.
しーちゃん、遅いね。
What could possibly go wrong? Reina muttered only that.
そうだな。
Again, we fell silent. Reina slowly licked her dry lips. It made a moist, alluring sound. Please don't make me say the word moist too many times. Even though I wasn't sure I could stand, I rose to my feet. And at the same time, Reina vigorously turned back. This is some weird freaking music, I will say that.
どこに行くの？
I flinched the moment Reina's piercing gaze fixated on me.
ちょっと外見てくる。もしかしてシオンのやつ迷ってるかもしれないしさ。
しーちゃん、ケイチ君の家に来たことあるでしょ？
ああ。
Reina continued staring at me as she came closer and closer.
もしかしてしーちゃん、おじけづいちゃったのかな？
Reina seemed like she was looking right through my heart as she said that.
まさかシオンが約束破るとは思えないぞ。
You sure about that, man?
しーちゃんがケイチ君が思ってるような人じゃなかったら？
何言ってんだよ。仲間疑うなんてどうかしてるぞ、レナ。
レナ、ケイチ君のことは信じてるよ。
おう。
だから絶対裏切らないでね。
Reina grabbed my arm and squeezed it tight.
わかった。約束する。
絶対だよ。
Reina filled her hand with incredible strength as she squeezed me. So much that it hurt.
絶対。
Struggling to mutter a response, I nodded to her several times.
レナも絶対ケイチ君を裏切らない。もしも約束を破ってしまったら、今度はレナがお社様にお仕置きされちゃうから。
After saying that, Reina gave me a sickeningly sweet smile. When Reina released my arm, there were clear red marks on the spot where she was holding me. It looked like a stamp and felt warm and tingly. Suddenly, I thought that this mark would stay with me for the rest of my life. After this, we're going to put our terrible plan into motion. Assuming that we're able to carry out this plan successfully. However, our complicity in the crime will stay with us for the remainder of our lives. Our entire relationship would fall apart if someone were to ever reveal our secret. We'll be constantly watching and warning one another to avoid treading the road to ruin. That tense atmosphere will likely follow us until we die. Sometime in June 1985? A staggeringly long time, holding on to it for an entire lifetime. A mark engraved so deep that it would last forever. I wonder if my heart can endure that without breaking.
圭一君がもしも転校しちゃったとしてもレナは会いに行くよ。圭一君がレナのこと忘れてしまわないように。
My heart began to crumble just as Reina said that.
でもね、
心配なんかしてないって。
そうだよね。だってひなみ沢の人間はたとえ村を出て行ったとしても必
That's
ず戻
not
ってくる。
creepy at all.
不思議だよね。どこに逃げても必ず引き戻されるの。
The sound of me swallowing my spit vividly echoed across the room. Now, I don't know what kind of spit you're producing there, dude, but if it's echoing vividly, we might need to talk.
だから心配しなくていいんだよ、圭一君。
Reina's words went deep into my heart. There was no turning back. Reina's eyes were fixated on me like she'd never let go. Nothing could turn them away. I can no longer run away. My retreat has already been cut off. I'm already crawling down this road. It's time to walk on my own 2 feet. Suddenly, I heard the doorbell ring off in the distance. Reina quietly nodded to me. I bit my lip as I opened the door to my room. Then, I slowly descended the stairs while sorting out my thoughts. Step by step, inch by inch, half inch by half inch, quarter inch by quarter inch, eighth inch by eighth inch, and then a spring! The wood felt cold to the touch as it creaked underfoot. Heading down, step by step, just to be certain I'm on the right path. Steadily moving myself forward. There's no other way. Don't look back. You're on the right path. I was filled with a peculiar sense of purpose. I felt no fear. So I'll follow this path. And then I'll open the door. And our ideal future will be waiting for me on the other side.
圭ちゃん？
When I opened the front door, I found Shion gazing at me with a puzzled expression. Her eyes were open wide, like she was looking at a total stranger.
なんだか違う人みたいに見えてしまって。
Yeah, it's the eyes. You get used to people doing that around you, you know. Shion tried to hide her feelings behind a smile, but her unease was clear as day.
遅かったな。
すみません。出がけに変な電話があったんです。
電話？
はい。無言電話でした。かすかに息遣いのような声が聞こえたりして、気味が悪くて。
いたずら電話とか？
かもしれませんね。それでいつもより念入りに戸締まりをしてたら遅くなってしまったんです。ごめんなさい。
Shion quickly bowed her head.
でも、ケイちゃんの顔見たらほっとしました。なんていうか、緊張感のかけらもないお顔で。
Shion laughed nervously.
へいへい。どうせ俺は緊張感のない面ですよ。
すねないでくださいよ。
Thanks to Shion, I was finally beginning to relax. I'm going to move this window over some. And this one. For my own comfort. However, Shion and I grew silent as we made our way up the stairs, and the oppressive atmosphere quickly returned. All the actors have been assembled. Keiichi Miyabara, Rina Ryugu, Shion Sonozaki. The three of us confronted one another from a safe distance and looked over the two cards lined up before us. The first card was Hojo Teppei. Indeed, the main character of the night. Despite not being present, he was the starting role. Unbeknownst to him, his time was quickly approaching. A vision of Teppei lazing about while tormenting Satoko came to mind, and it burned in the fires of my heart. With my emotions boiling over inside me, I turned over the second card. The second card was The Perfect Crime. Those words had a power to them like a magic spell. This crime is necessary for us to obtain our ideal future. So there mustn't be any holes in our plan. We've gathered here to put together the perfect crime.
レナね。完全犯罪についてちょっと調べてきたんだ。
This music doesn't quite fit. As Reina said that, she pulled out a college-ruled notebook. She must have put her soul into writing down these thoughts. The paper was warped from intense writing, and some of the characters were blurry. Reina was clearly taking this seriously.
殺害方法はどんなのでもいいの。必要なのは自分が加害者であることを知られない方法。それだけに尽きるって言ってもいいと思う。
Indeed, there were many criminals out in the world struggling to conceal the truth of their crimes. But they usually ended up destroying themselves. Human beings are imperfect. If small mistakes are made here and there, some of them will line up and allow other people to put the pieces together, and that ultimately ends up casting suspicion on them.
つまり、アリバイが必要だってことですね。
そうなの。だからレナたちは明日の夜、綿流しに行かなくちゃならないの。
でも、実際は綿流しに行かずに鉄平を殺している。
Reina responded to Shion with a deep nod.
お互いのアリバイをお互いが証明するってことだな。
うん。私たちは明日無邪気に綿流しを楽しむ。まるで何事もなかったみたいに。
But, in reality, we'll be taking Teppei Hojo's life with our own hands. Reina looked just like she did when she strangled that stuffed animal to death inside the station wagon, wearing a completely nonchalant expression on her face.
あともう一つは目撃者ですね。
多分村の人はほとんどお祭りに行くだろうから。
Hey, maybe we'll actually kill Tomatake.
その時間帯を狙うのが一番いいと思う。
誰も来ない場所で人知れず鉄平を殺す。
万が一ってこともあるから、なるべく短時間で仕留めないとね。
We assembled our plan to the best of our ability. This was neither a game nor fantasy. It was reality. I needed to feel something tangible, so I dug my nails into my knees. Then, a dull pan ran through my body.
これで加害者と目撃者は消えた。次は被害者の存在を消さなきゃ。
被害者の存在を消す？
被害者が存在しなければ犯罪そのものも存在しなくなる。要するに事件として成立しないってことなの。
遺体の処理ですね。
うん。絶対に誰にも見つからない場所に隠さなきゃ。
A place where nobody will ever find it. A vision of the Onagafuchi swamp suddenly flashed before my eyes. The bottomless swamp, the perfect stage for Teppei to meet his demise.
鬼ヶ淵沼なんてどうだ？ あそこなら絶対に誰にもバレないんじゃないか。
Reina frowned in response to my suggestion.
最初はレナもそう思った。けどケイチ君も思ったってことはみんなそう思うってことじゃないかな。警察もまず鬼ヶ淵を疑うはずだよ。もしも重い腰を上げて一斉捜索なんてされたら。
確かにレナの言う通りだな。
遺体の移動手段も考える必要がありますね。
We poured our heart and soul into devising the plan, tearing down earlier plans and rebuilding them from the ground up. After breaking it down and repeatedly reworking our plan, we settled on the simplest method. First, we'll invite Satoko to the festival to isolate Teppei. Then we'll pose as the police officer and demand Teppei come to us. Teppei will probably head out on his motorcycle. There's only one road leading out of town from Satoko's house, and it has no streetlights. We'll set up an ambush in the dark by hanging a black rope over the road. Once Teppei shows up on his motorcycle, Reina and Shion will pull on the ends of the rope. Teppei will fall off his bike. Then I'll swiftly move in to deliver the killing blow. Even though I asked Reina and Shion for their cooperation, I wanted to carry out the actual murder myself. I felt like it was my duty to keep the two of them from becoming murderers. At first, the two of them frowned at my suggestion, but I eventually managed to get through to them, and they were willing to leave everything to me. After the murder, the three of us will carry the corpse and bury it in a hole we prepared in advance. Shion will drive the motorcycle into Onagafuchi Swamp, and Reina will dispose of the murder weapon.
残るは凶器だな。
We all fell silent once again, overwhelmed by the fact that we were on the verge of killing a man. Well, it would have worked perfectly if he hadn't had to go back out there and check. And this time they can actually dig a hole deep enough they're reasonably sure no coyotes or anything have come and dug it up. So you know, it might work better this time. Might. Then, I started tearing down at the hand that would be holding the hypothetical murder weapon. I couldn't feel it. Instead, I felt an unrelenting agitation inside my heart. I'm not alone here. I should feel safe. And because I'm not alone, the guilt is diluted among us. We stared each other down to evaluate everyone's convictions.
ナイフとか包丁は手に入りやすいけど返り血を浴びると思うし避けた方がいいと思うな。
それじゃあロープで首を絞めるのは。
もしも暴れられたり逃げられたらリスクが多い。
それじゃあ他に何がある？
I moved closer to Reina as I asked that. Reina looked up at the ceiling, searching for an answer. The next moment, Shion's shoulders began to tremble. Is she crying? That ain't crying. Shion suddenly broke into a laugh.
しーちゃん？
どうしたんだ、シオン。
私、いいこと思いついてしまいました。
いいこと？
あいつの息の根を止めるのにふさわしい凶器です。
It may not be a healthy laugh, but it is the usual laugh.
バットです。サトシ君のバットです。これでサトシ君の恨みを晴らすことができます。そう思ったらおかしくって。
You know, I think Reina has the right look on her face for this moment.
ざまあみろですよ。
Shion kept laughing as tears began spilling out. I suddenly began to shiver. too, Reina?
本当だ。おかしいね。あの男が苦しんで転がり回ってもがいて助けをこうて、それを上から見下ろすなんて最高にいい気分だね。ざまあ見ろだ。ケイちゃんも一緒に笑いましょう。そうだよ。あの男が死ぬのは喜ばしいことなんだよ。ほら笑ってください、ケイちゃん。
ケイチくん、笑って。
You better find it in your heart to laugh real quick, Keiji.
笑って、笑って、笑って。
That's not creepy at all. Apparently, he did find it in his heart to laugh in a way that would probably hurt my throat to try. I let out a deep laugh from the bottom of my gut. Despite our current situation, I roared with laughter. Once Tepe is gone, Satoko will be happy again. Thinking about it that way, it was unbearably strange. Just laughing and laughing. A single teardrop escaped me for some reason. Suddenly, a lifeless sound brought me back to reality. I gently wiped my tears away before anyone could notice, then got up and left the room. Yeah, they do. After opening the door to my room, I was surrounded by the lukewarm air of the house and its distinct smell. It filled me with a cozy, nostalgic sensation. My normal, everyday life in this house, and a single corpse, will both undoubtedly disappear from this world tomorrow.
もしもし。もしもし、どちら様ですか?
I could hear someone breathing softly on the other end of the phone.
もしもし、いたずら電話なら切りますよ。もしも。
The caller hung up without making a sound. I felt a nagging discomfort as I hung up the receiver. Then I turned on my heels and started heading back to my room. Once again, the telephone started ringing. I hesitated for a moment before putting my hand on the receiver. I didn't say anything and tried my best to discern the identity of the caller.
ちゃん、ケイちゃん。
My concerns immediately vanished. It was Mion's voice.
ミオンか?
ケイちゃん。
お前、さっき電話かけたか?
かけてないけど。どうかしたの?
いや、なんでもない。お前こそなんだよ。何かあったのか?
ケイちゃん、ちょっと変だよ。そっちこそ何かあったんじゃない？
別に何もないぞ。
ならいいけど、明日のことでちょっとね。
明日？
お祭りのこと。
祭りか。
本当に変なんだけど、大丈夫？
ああ、寝起きだからさ。頭がうまく回転してないんだ。
Need to get that fixed, man.
なんだ、寝てたんだ。
いい感じで爆睡してたよ。ミオンに起こされるまではな。
ごめんごめん。
I had to carefully choose my responses one word at a time to avoid making Mion suspicious.
でさ、明日お祭り来るでしょ？
一応行くつもりだけど。
けど、何？
いやいや、ちゃんと行くって。レナと一緒に行く約束してるからさ。
へえ、レナと一緒なんだ。
Yep, that starts off the wrong timeline. I could picture the sorrowful look in Mion's eyes on the other end of the phone. The loneliness of believing that your friends left you out. I knew that feeling, so I tried to find the words to make things right.
ミオンももちろん行くだろ？現地で合流しようぜ。
そうだね。ケイちゃん一人だったらって心配だったんだけど、レナと一緒なら安心だね。
それってどういう意味だ？
ごめん、なんでもない。あ、もう切らなくちゃ。それじゃあ明日ね。おやすみ。
Neon hung up the phone without waiting for an answer. My stomach twisted as I sat down the receiver. If I'm with Reina, I'll be safe? I was consumed by an inexplicable insecurity as I pondered the meaning of those words. Not wanting to be bogged down by these thoughts, I made my way back upstairs towards my room, but I stopped myself before reaching the second floor. The door should have been closed, but it was open. The light from my room illuminated the dimly lit hallway, casting two shadows on the wall. But the two shadows quickly disappeared back into the room as though they sensed my presence. Were they listening to my phone call? They followed behind me and concealed their breathing so they could keep an eye on me. Why? We'd already come to an agreement to protect each other's secrets. Serena and Shion were hiding behind the scenes, watching me to make sure I didn't leak any secrets? Could that be what the two of them were doing? Reina, Shion, and I. The three of us shared an intricately intertwined bond, and that connection made us stronger. It'll stay with us the rest of our lives. Even if it rusts and fades, our bond will last until we die. But somehow, it felt like the two of them were drifting farther and farther away. When I returned to my room, Reina and Shion welcomed me back as if nothing had happened. Seeing the smiles on their faces only made me feel more anxious.
電話誰からだったのかな
なんでそんなこと聞くんだ？
気になっただけだよ。圭一くん、なんだか怖い顔してる。
Don't try to hide it. You guys are spying on me.
圭一くん、私たちに隠し事してないかな
隠し事なんかしてないぞ。お前らの方こそ、俺に隠れてこそこそ何してやがった。
I asked that in exasperation, but Reina just bit her lip and refused to answer. However, Shion stepped forward and pointed a challenging gaze at me.
一体何が言いたいのですか？
とぼけんなよ。お前ら、さっきの電話に聞き耳立てていただろ。
聞き耳？ずいぶん人聞きの悪いこと言うんですね。まさか誰かに入れ知恵でもされたんですか？
なんだそれは。言いがかりかよ。
圭一くん、やっぱりおじけづいたんだ。
I have a feeling they're not gonna make it to the murder. Reina muttered those words and looked up at me with doubt in her eyes.
裏切る気なんだ。圭一くん、誰かに告げ口してたんだ。
はあ？どうしてそうなるんだ？
陥れる気だったんだ。
That's a scarier look.
ずっと騙してた。味方のふりして、偽善者ずらして。汚い。
Reina's delusions were taking a leap too far. The rage burning inside her left me stunned.
うまく出し抜いたと思ってるの？かわいそうな圭一くん。圭一くんは悪い子、邪悪で不潔。罰が当たるよ。お社様の罰が当たるよ。
Her low-pitched laughter sounded like feet scraping along the floor. Reina flashed a death glare in my direction and rose to her feet as I stood there in bewilderment. Then she moved closer to me, closing in on her prey.
誰？さっきの電話は誰？
Reina opened her eyes wide with a bloodthirsty expression. I instinctively turned around to try and escape, but Shion was standing behind me to cut me off.
何なんだお前ら。
まさかさっきの電話、ひょっとしてお姉からじゃないですか？
みーちゃんが？どうしてなの？
レナさんは黙っててください。
Shion shut Reina down with an intense glare, then approached me.
お姉に何を喋ったんです？
別に何も喋ってないぞ。お祭りに行くかって聞かれただけだよ。
本当にそれだけですか？
I fiercely nodded my head.
信じていいんですね。
俺は何一つやましいことはしてない。お前らこそ信じていいのかよ。
Our eyes crossed as we tried to evaluate each other's convictions. Reina and Shion lightly nodded their heads, but was that a nod of agreement or a solemn act of resignation? It's not the kind of thing that would tear apart our friendship, right? We need to stand together in our mission to help Satoko. We were shivering from the excitement, tension, and fear of being on the verge of carrying out a murder. That had all of us feeling especially nervous, so we were suspecting each other more than necessary. In the meantime, I decided it would be better to calm down and steady my breathing.
それにしてもどうして今頃私たちがここに集まっていることを知っているみたいに。お姉のことだから何か気づいているのかも。
考えすぎじゃないか。まさかミオンだって千里眼は持ってないだろ
う。でもお姉の目は2つだけじゃないんですよ。
第三の目でもおでこに隠してるってのか。漫画の読みすぎだろ。
第三どころか少なくとも100近くの目を持ってますよ。
Sounds like a very complicated JoJo stand, really. 100 eyes Mion. Now that'd be a Yu-Gi-Oh card, wouldn't it? Probably.
なんだそれは。ミオンは化け物か？
前にも言ったはずです。ここはひなみ沢なんです。
つまりミオン本人だけじゃない。村人全員に注意しろってことか。
明日の夜、すべてが終わってからもしばらくは気をつけた方がいいと思います。
そうだな。
レナ、ちょっと思ったんだけど。
After finally regaining her composure, Reina timidly interrupted when she saw the look on Shion's face.
みーちゃんなら計画のことを話してもいいんじゃないかな。
絶対ダメです。
でもみーちゃんだってさとこちゃんのことすごく心配してるし、分かってくれると思うよ。
いくら仲間だからってお姉は市場に流されたりしません。あれでも園崎家の当主ですから。里子を阻害する村の連中と同じだと思った方がいいですよ。いえ、それ以上かも。最も計画を気取られてはいけない人物だと思ってください。お姉に知れたら全てが失敗に終わります。
As Reina listened to the explanation, her quiet breathing ceased and she once again began to tense up. And then she started trembling so intensely that it was tearing into the tatami mats.
邪魔するやつ、レナは絶対許さない。絶対許さない。許さない。許さない。
No matter what happens, we can't let this plan fail, even if that means betraying one of my old friends. We all stared each other down, engraving our thoughts into each other's hearts. After a while, Shion picked up the notebook we casually set down. Then,
始末しなくてはいけませんね。
we nodded in agreement, then headed to the parlor. There was a huge ashtray on the table, covered in dust. Reina remained expressionless as she tore the notebook apart. Then Shion took the pieces that fell out and cut them into even smaller pieces. I grabbed the scraps and piled them on top of the ashtray, then grabbed a match. A single plume of smoke released as a small, pale flame began to burn. The flames sizzled as they spread, covering the white pages in black. We sat there silently, with our hearts crackling full of burning, hot, murderous intent. I held my breath and watched as the flames slowly turned to ash. This was all for our ideal future. That was all we could think about. Once the flames burned out, all that remained was a pile of murky, black ashes. And each of us tried to shake off our doubts and suspicions, one by one. Shion slowly poured water over the ashtray to extinguish any lasting embers. The dice have been thrown. Murder is the only option. I returned to my room alone after Reina and Shion went home, and tried to get some sleep. The insomnia I'd been suffering for the past few days continued, but starting tomorrow, my nights will no longer be haunted by these depressing thoughts. I clenched my fist. I could feel the sensation of gripping a bat throughout my entire body. With these hands, I'm going to kill him. When I held my hand up to the darkness, it seemed like I caught a glimpse of the future and the dazzling lights coming in through the gaps in between my fingers. And so my entire body tasted a sensation that I'd never felt before. And break.